Hello, Stitchy friends. How is everybody doing? Today is Monday, June 1st, 2026. I cannot believe we're at June. Where did the month of May go? It just absolutely flew by. Welcome. This is Flosstube number 95. My name is Andrew. This is my dog Winston, and you are here at the Runner Stitcher, my channel where I talk mostly about my cross-stitch journey, a little bit about running, and whatever else I have going on in life. So thank you so much for being here. If you are a new subscriber, I know there's been a number of you sort of joining the channel and subscribing. I just want to say a huge thank you, and I hope you enjoy what you see. I hope you like the projects that I'm working on, and I hope you enjoy our little time together here. And if you are a returning subscriber, or if you've been here for a while, thank you so much for coming back to spend a little bit of time with me and Winston. We really do appreciate it, and this is such a great time for us to build a community here around this channel and enjoy this wonderful hobby that we have. So thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. I wanted to start off by just saying I noticed the other day that we've now crossed 8,000 subscribers on this channel, and wow, 8,000. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I feel like it was just yesterday when we said we hit 7,000 subscribers, and I just can't believe that the channel continues to grow, and so many more of you are finding it and enjoying the projects that I'm sharing and enjoying the community we're building here. So I just want to say thank you all so much for the support. I would not be here without you. You know, this channel is all about our interaction and our comments and sharing this wonderful hobby, and it would not be the case without you. So thank you so much. With the start of my new job this week, I did not have time to put together a giveaway, so I will try to maybe have one next week for sort of an 8,000 subscriber celebration. I'll try to have a giveaway ready at that point. But I just wasn't prepared for it this week. I didn't see it coming, and here it is. So anyway, thank you so much. Stay tuned next week for the giveaway, and yeah, we'll just continue. I'm going to continue sharing this beautiful hobby. I'm going to continue stitching, and although it might be a little less than what I had before, I will still be here, and I hope you will continue on this journey with me, and we'll just keep the channel going. I also wanted to say a huge thank you to Robin, who took advantage of the Buy Me a Coffee link below. Robin, thank you so much for that generous gift. I really do appreciate it, and I did use it to get a coffee this week. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. As you know, lately I have been sharing one sort of designer or site or fabric dye or floss dyer a month and kind of highlighting a few of their patterns or designs throughout the month. And last month we did Silks for You, and I know so many of you enjoyed seeing the beautiful silk colors. This month I've switched it back to a designer that I wanted to sort of share and highlight, and it's one of the designers that I have always loved their projects and their patterns, but I've never actually stitched one. So I need to get on that because there are so many great patterns. Who I'm talking about this month is the Blue Flower. And if you are familiar with them, you probably already know a bunch of their more popular patterns. But one thing the Blue Flower does really, really well is our animals. You know, there's a baby animals piece that they've done, which is really great. But every time there's an animal in their piece, I always am drawn to it. And it's just enough of a realistic looking animal that I just love it. I love the designs. So this month I'm going to be highlighting the Blue Flower. And for the first pattern I wanted to share was Animal Alphabet. And I'll put a picture up here because I don't actually have the pattern with me. But this pattern is just really fun. It's a typical alphabet piece where each letter of the alphabet has an animal attached to it. And like I said, she just does animals so well, and that's what really makes this piece special. So I'll have the picture up here. I'm also going to have a link below in the description for you to be able to purchase this through Lindy Stitches. There is an affiliate link down there that you can, if you are interested in this pattern or any of the other Blue Flower patterns that I share this month, there'll be a link down below where you can click that and check it out. And yeah, happy animal stitching. I think this pattern would be so much fun. Each letter would feel like a little win. Some of my favorite parts were the tiger, where he's sort of like kind of climbing up the T a little bit, the puffin for the letter P, and of course I love the goose for G. But there's definitely some wonderful animals in there, so check it out if you're interested. And I actually have some exciting news this week. So Steph at Lindy Stitches has reached out, and she was so kind to say that she would like to offer one of these patterns as a giveaway on my channel. So we're going to give away Animal Alphabet from the Blue Flower today. This will be a pattern that Steph will send to you. So I will just need to get your email information and your mailing address to pass along to Steph, and she will go ahead and get that in the mail to you and send that off to you. So Steph, thank you so much for offering to do that. I'm really excited to be able to give away these beautiful patterns and to someone who really wants to stitch them. So typical giveaway rules apply. Please be subscribed to the channel. Please be 18 years of age or older. And please don't use any words like giveaway or win, free, anything like that, because we don't want to, we want this pattern to go to someone who is actually going to stitch it if they're interested. For this giveaway, I'd like you to use the word letter, L-E-T-T-E-R, because there's a lot of letters in this pattern, letters of the alphabet. And yeah, go ahead and use the word letter if you'd like to be entered into the drawing for this piece. I will draw the winner next week on my channel. So you'll have 1 week to enter and put in your comment with the keyword there. And yeah, we'll give that away. I'm so excited. I hope you are too. And as far as other announcements go, I don't really have anything else to chat about this week. So I think this might be a little bit of a shorter video, maybe less to say, and less stitching was done this week, and that's okay. I'm still finding my footing in this new routine of mine, and I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video, but still just finding my way. And so just bear with me as I sort of get my bearings over the next several weeks and find a new routine that works for me. If this Monday night recording, I'm recording on Monday evening, this will go up on Tuesday morning. If this doesn't work in my schedule like I thought it would, I may switch to starting to record on Sunday evenings and posting it sort of first thing on Monday morning or throughout the day on Monday. So just stay tuned. I'll keep you posted on what my schedule is going to look like. I do still hope to do a Stitch With Me video throughout the week at some point. And so we'll kind of have that schedule of those two types of videos. So as I said, I've got 4 whips to share with you this week, and that was the stitching that I got accomplished. I'm actually really happy with how much I was able to stitch, considering it was my first week at work, and you know, I didn't have as much stitching time even in the evenings, and that's going to be okay. I think my new cadence is going to be roughly around like 2,000 stitches a week that I'll be able to get in, and so I just kind of have to adjust my plans and things to make that work, to make that fit. And that's okay. This is a season of my life right now, and it's different than the season I was in. So I'll keep sharing with you what I'm able to get done. But the first project I worked on was Saga. This is from Long Dog Samplers. Here's what this one is going to look like. It's a beautiful piece, and I was working on this one today, so I will pop a video in here from earlier today when I started the week. Okay, here's my starting point for Saga for the week. I'm going to be working in the top section of this arch right here. So we'll see how far I get, how much stitching I get done. This is Monday during the day, so I don't know how much I'll get before I start filming tonight. So we'll see, but you'll see it now. And despite only working on this today, I was able to add in 358 stitches, putting me at 65.77%. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that my weekly goal on Saga is 550. So 358 does not quite get it there to the weekly goal. The good news is that I am well ahead of my schedule to finish this piece in 4 years. So I started this on leap year of 2024, and the goal is to finish it by leap day of 2028. So I am well over halfway. I've got 65.77% in, and the halfway mark was this past February, so I'm ahead of schedule. However, I do want to keep chipping away at this on a weekly basis, and if possible, I'd like to get it back to the 550 stitches. I think I'm just sort of figuring out which day of the week is going to be best for me to stitch Saga. So there might be less stitches over the next several weeks as I figure out where and how to slot this into my schedule. But 358 stitches, 65.77%, and here is where we are now. So this is Saga. I absolutely love this piece. This is from Long Dog Samplers, if I didn't say it before. This is stitched on a 36 count vintage country mocha linen, and I'm using Silks For You PR207, this beautiful blue, slightly variegated silk, but just absolutely beautiful. And I'm on this 4th row of arches. So we've got 1.5 arches left to go on this row, and then we'll have the final row at the bottom. But let's zoom in a little bit and show you what I got to today. So as you saw in the other video that I just posted, I stopped about right here, I think it was. So I was able to add in kind of this top section of the arch right in through here. So we've got that complete. Next week I will continue to bring this side down and maybe start working on the pillar like this that goes over here. So still working in the outline of the arch, so nothing too exciting. But this is the last full arch of this row. You can see here, there's just 1.5 left. And so that's really exciting. But yeah, so that's what I was working on. I do love the design and the pattern that comes in each of these arches. Each one is unique, but there's a very fun style to each of them. So that is my progress on Saga for the week. So come back next week for sure, and I will hopefully have my 550 stitches in. If not, I'll just keep figuring out how and when I can slot this in. So it will still be coming out on a weekly basis though. That is Saga. All right, next up is my mystery stitch, and this is a piece that I have decided to keep a mystery from you and sort of have you kind of guess along the way as I stitch it, guess what I'm stitching on. So it's a full coverage piece. It's very, very large. I think it's about 700 by 999 stitches. So this is going to be a long-term project, but I do love just chipping away a little bit at it each week. And if you already saw, I did post a Stitch With Me video that I did on Sunday morning, or I posted on Sunday morning. I was stitching on Saturday. And so you probably have seen some of the progress if you watched that video, but I was able to add a little bit more. I actually have added 301 stitches total to this piece. That puts me at 0.53%. So we are now at the 0.5% mark. That is, feels like a good goal on this piece. But, so I'm going to show this to you now. It does have a lot of dangling threads and, yeah, I'm going to show you where I'm at, but it's starting to look really, really good. I think so. So here is the piece. Here is what it looks like. I think this is so fun. I think the motif is looking really, really good, especially when you sort of pull it back. I think the camera does a good job of showing it, but you really can see the face sort of coming in there. And even the sort of details in the hair are coming through pretty well. When you look at this really close, you will see that it's very pixelated, you know, it's a full coverage piece. And so the details are very kind of, you know, pixelated like is expected. But when you pull this back a little bit, which that's how you'll be looking at it on the wall because it's going to be such a huge piece. You're not going to be focused on each individual motif, but you're going to be looking at it as a whole. And so when you pull it back, you really are going to be able to see what each thing is. So I know a lot of you have had guesses as to what this might be or what I'm stitching, and I've been trying to decide how I reveal what it is, but I decided I am going to share what this motif right here is. So if you don't want to know what this motif is, look away from the screen. I'm going to pop what the motif is down at the bottom of the screen here. There's been a number of correct guesses, so I think a lot of you have a good indication of what this is already, and probably even after stitching that next diagonal that I did gives you an even better indication. But I will pop it along the bottom of the screen if you are interested. So that's coming on now. And if you don't want to know what it is, you can look up now because it is gone. So you can continue guessing. This piece has been so much fun, despite everything going on this week and all the, not stress of work, but just kind of the, you know, how tiring it is to start a new job and learn new things. This was definitely a comfort piece. I really still enjoyed it, even though this section of the face was very confetti heavy. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I really enjoyed it. I think the rest of the diagonal will be a lot of fun. And we are going to get into the next motif, I think right in around here on this next diagonal. There'll be a little bit of the next motif. I don't think you'll be able to guess it from this diagonal, but we will at least hit that next motif, so that's exciting. And then the more we keep going, the more these diagonals continue to grow, the more motifs will hit along the way, and the more guessing that you will be able to do. So that's the mystery piece. I'm so glad you're enjoying it, and stay tuned. I will probably have another Stitch With Me on this piece later in the week. All right, next up I pulled out the final Mania 500 piece, and that was Gaia, the Earth Goddess. This is from Bella Filipina. Here is what she is going to look like. I absolutely love her. It's so much fun to stitch in these greens and these oranges, and just really enjoy this piece a lot. So this was my final Mania goal, and so obviously, you know, Mania had a goal of 500 stitches, and then I actually had some extra stitches to do for my Patreon members. I had about 220 extra stitches to add to it, so 720 needed to go into this piece. I will put a video in here of where I was when I started the week. Okay, this is my starting point for Gaia. I'm gonna just continue pulling up some of these greens a little higher here. I think I'll also probably work at, you know, pulling up more of her dress here and also maybe on this side. So we'll see how far I get. You will see it now. And I'm happy to say I was able to add in 744 stitches on this piece this week. That puts me at approximately 55% based on what's in markup, but decent progress, and I did complete that Mania/Patreon member goal. So was very happy about that. So here is Gaia, the Earth Goddess now. Here's what she looks like. The main section that I worked on was right in through here. I brought all these greens up, a little bit of this orange of her dress, but mostly this sort of shawl that she's wearing here. Was able to bring up those greens a little further this week. And that was really nice stitching. It was really fun to get back to this piece. I've really enjoyed it. This is stitched on a 32 count spring, I believe it's called Spring Showers from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. And I'm using all the called for DMC and beads and silk and everything that's called for. But I really love this fabric on this piece because down here at the bottom, which you can't see because it's scrolled up, it is this like darker green color, and then it sort of fades up into this blue. And so I started at the bottom on this piece, which is kind of rare for me, but I wanted to make sure she sat where I wanted her to on the green. So the bottom of this piece is in the green like the grass, and then as we work our way up, we get into the sky and the background on her. So I think it's gonna look really, really great when it's completed in a number of years. But this is so much fun, and I was really happy to see 700 more stitches go into this piece. Now, the one thing I wanted to say is let me pull the pattern out again. So I am right in here on the green. I'm right here in this section, right here. Actually, no, I'm over here in this section. So you can see that her hand comes in right here. And I think her hand is like right about here. So the next time I pull this out, I could do some 1/1 skin stitching if I'd like, or I could continue working on the greens here. I could obviously bring the dress all the way up. There's a number of possibilities, but it was exciting to finally have reached her hand. Typically when I do a fancy lady, I start at the top, and so the end of the piece is just a lot of the dress and the bottom of the piece. With this one, since I started at the bottom, all I've been working in is dress so far. And I think one thing I really like about stitching fancy ladies is seeing their face and their features sort of come out and come to life. And so I am excited to kind of get a hand in there so it can feel more like the fancy lady that I'm stitching and not just endless dress. So that is that's sort of where I'm at. I don't know when this will come back out again, but I really did enjoy stitching on it, so I don't think it will be too long before it comes back out. But that is Gaia, the Earth Goddess. And the final piece I've got to share with you this week is actually a new start. And I told you about it last week that I thought I was going to start it, and indeed I did. So I have actually been talking about this piece for a long time, and I've wanted to stitch Little Acorns by Modern Folk Embroidery. Here is what this is going to look like. It is this beautiful, I would call it a sampler from Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery, and I just love the motifs. I'll see if I can get a little bit closer shot here so you can see kind of all of it, what it's going to look like. I am up here at the very top just working on this first sort of band. I kind of like how it's split into different bands so that you can kind of focus on one and get that completed and then you work your way down. That's kind of my plan. So I'll probably start with completing this entire band all the way over to the edge. But yeah, I thought this would be a great piece to start because it's one that's been on my radar for a long time. I really wanted to stitch it. I had it kitted up with the floss and fabric that I thought would go great with it, and it was just time. So I started this on Tuesday evening after my first day of work. And I did that to sort of commemorate this new season, new chapter of my life. a new job. So Fruits of Plenty, as you know from Modern Folk Embroidery that I stitched and finished at the beginning of this year, that saw me through a lot in the last several years, and it was always a comfort stitch for me, and it was always nice to kind of go back to it. And now, sort of stitched into that piece, I have those memories of all the things I went through over the last several years. And I wanted another piece like that, so I thought how appropriate to start it on my first day of work when I'm beginning this new routine, a new part of my life. So there's obviously not a starting point because this is a new start, but I will show where I got to. I was able to add in 880 stitches on this piece, putting me at 2.34%. And here's what it looks like so far. So this is stitched on a 36 count red cedar linen by Cedar River Linens. And I'm using Silks for You. Ooh, I forget what the number is. I think it's Silks for You. I have it right here. PR149. I'll have to get used to that. I'm so used to saying Silks for You PR207 for Saga, but this is Silks for You PR149, and I'm using one strand of silk over 2 linen threads. And I started in the upper right corner, and so here's where I got to. I think it's looking beautiful. This silk is just lovely. I don't know if it's coming across in the camera, but there is just a hint of variegation in the silk from sort of a lighter color to almost a very, very light tan. So it kind of goes from a light white almost to a light tan, but it's very subtle. It's not enough that it kind of distracts you, but it's just enough to sort of add that little bit of texture that I really was looking for. So this is 880 stitches. I really enjoyed every little bit of this. I really loved this motif right here. I enjoyed stitching this heart down here, and of course the bird. How can you not love the bird? So that is my start on Little Acorns by Modern Folk Embroidery. And again, I don't know when this piece will come out, but it's going to be a comfort stitch for me as I need it and as I go through the next several years. So yeah, hope you enjoy that. I had a lot of fun pulling it out and working on it. And that's all the stitching I was able to get done this week. So I hope you enjoyed the update, and honestly, I was really happy with what I was able to get done. It was definitely not the level I'm normally at, and that's okay. I'm really fine with that. But I hope you enjoyed seeing the progress. Let's talk a little bit about plans, or maybe I should say the lack of plans that will be coming. As you know, I'm someone who really enjoys the planning part of this hobby and trying to make plans work and getting the number of stitches done that I'm supposed to with my plans. And that's really fun for me. I know not everyone enjoys counting stitches or hearing all of the specific numbers or plans, but that's really part of the fun for me of this hobby. And I have enjoyed doing that. However, as I enter into this new phase of my stitching and of my life, I'm just not sure how I'm going to plan everything out because I don't exactly know the level of stitching I'll be at. This week I was able to get just over 2,000 stitches, I think 2,200. So maybe that's the new level, and I'll kind of adjust plans to fit into that level of stitching. But I also really just want to be stitching on what I enjoy in the moment. And I think this hobby is so wonderful that we can use to bring us joy and bring us peace and just kind of use to unwind from the day, whatever it might be. And so I just want to be able to stitch on what I want to stitch on. So with plans, what that means is temperature stitching would have normally come back here in the month of June for after Mania was over. I'm not going to bring that back right now. I don't think I have the time to sort of dedicate 700 stitches a week to temperature stitching. So that is going to go on an indefinite hold. We'll see if at some point I'm able to get it back in, or if I'm able to kind of revamp it and do it in a different way that kind of makes sense for me and how much stitching I can get done. But for now, that is going to go on hiatus. So no temperature stitching. Whip into shape. Whip into shape is, I'm behind on my piece. As you know, I did not work on it again this week. and that's okay. But I did end up posting a new walk. So if you are new here, Whip into Shape is a challenge I have created for you to stitch along with a number of walks that I do, where I'm walking through New York City and sort of sharing the city with you. And you're able to just stitch and have that going in the background as some entertainment while you stitch. You can stitch for the amount of time that it takes to do the walk, the amount of miles, or the amount of steps that I do. There's a spreadsheet linked below, all of that detailed in there of how much you are stitching per walk. And all of the walks are posted on my other YouTube channel called Andrew in Stride. I'll have that link down below as well. So this past week, I did end up posting my final video that I have recorded, which was a walk through Park Slope, Brooklyn, and it's such a beautiful neighborhood. So I hope you get a chance to watch that one and just take a look at all the brownstones and all the little shops that are there, the people that are walking by. It was so much fun to record, and it's one of my favorite spots. It's very expensive to live there, but if I could, I probably would want to live there. So as far as Whip into Shape going forward, I don't know what the cadence is going to look like for me to be able to film these walks. It does take a lot of time to sort of go to the location, film for about 45 minutes to an hour, come home, upload all the content, and get it edited. So I don't know if I'm going to have time to be recording that every single week or not. My goal would be to still record one a week so that we can kind of keep the challenge going and keep the stitches going. But it might be something more that's like once every so often or once every 2 weeks. I will try to keep you posted as much as I can when I have a new video that is going to be posted and will add stitches to the challenge. But it is going to look a little different going forward throughout the rest of the summer now that I am working full-time again. Along with that, so my Whip into Shape piece is Elizabeth Masterton. That is by the Scarlet Letter. And I haven't worked on that in a number of weeks. And I really was hoping to get to it this week because it is also, or was also, one of my Whip Go goals for the month of May, which I didn't get to. So as I continue Whip into Shape, if I stretch out the walks a little bit longer, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, hopefully I will be able to continue getting Elizabeth Masterton out and actually putting in the stitches for those walks. But we'll see. We'll see how that all works out. As far as Whip Go goes, so May is the first month that I did not complete my Whip Go goal. I did the first one, but I didn't complete the second goal for the month of May. And that is okay. You know, life has happened. And going forward, I will still be trying to complete my Whip Go goals each month, but it's not going to be, if I don't have time to do it, I don't have time to do it. And that's just how it is right now. So for June, we're starting with a clean slate. Hopefully I will get those 2 projects out and at least worked on a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see how that all goes. So I guess all of that to say is that the only real plan I have is to continue working on Saga. Saga, I would still love to put in 550 stitches each week to keep me on target to finishing this piece in 4 years, because that is one that I definitely want to finish. And I know all of you are enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying it. So that's really my only plan. The other piece I want to continue working on is my full coverage, because I have really been enjoying that. And I really have been enjoying the stitchy time with you as well. So that will be another piece that will come out each week. So Saga and my full coverage will continue to come out. Beyond that, I think I'm just going to pull a project that speaks to me and work on it. So I might have less whips to share with you each week, but hopefully I'll have some decent progress on each of them that you'll be able to see and still enjoy as we go forward. So plans are going to look a lot different, and there probably won't be quite as many of them here, and that is totally okay. Otherwise, as far as life goes, it's been a really good week. I have still been able to squeeze in my runs in the morning. I've been getting up around 5:30 in the morning to go out and do a run, come back, get ready for work, feed Winston, take Winston for a walk, and then still be at work by around 8:30 or 9 o'clock. So it's been a very early morning for me, but the runs have been so important. That's something that, it's the exercise that I have. It's something that really helps clear my mind in the morning and just keeps me motivated. So I didn't want to kind of cut that out completely. So the early mornings meant that I'm going to bed earlier in the evenings. And if I'm going to bed earlier in the evenings, then I'm cutting into my stitching time that way as well. So that's why there's been a little bit of less stitching time. But I have still been running. This past weekend, I did a 10-mile run from here to Central Park and back. And it was lovely. The weather has been so perfect for running. On Saturday this past weekend, it was actually a little chilly. I almost needed gloves in the morning to run because I think it was like low 50s and my hands were getting a little chilly. But the weather for running has just been great. It is going to warm up a little bit, and that's expected. We're now in June. It should be getting close to summer weather, right? We're getting closer to the summer season. But yeah, running has been going well. And then, as you know, or maybe you don't know if you're a new subscriber, but I started a new job last week on Tuesday. And it's something that I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be a really great fit for where I am right now and for this sort of transition period. It definitely is a job. I will be a bookkeeper for an energy consulting firm here in the city, and it's going to take all of the knowledge that I've gained in my courses that I took and in my part-time job, and it's going to combine all of that and just expand it and kind of give me the experience that I need working in bookkeeping that hopefully will lead to other things in the future. And, you know, just in the first week, I have really been enjoying it. I think it's been a lot to learn and the nuances of how they invoice and how they collect their payments. But overall, I really do enjoy this process. It's something I'm really good at in paying attention to the details and kind of keeping track of numbers and finances. So it's been really good for me. And it's something that I'm looking forward to learning a lot with this company and growing. But, you know, anytime there's a new job, you're getting used to, I'm getting used to being in the office again, interacting with coworkers, and forgetting to bring a sweater to the office when they have the AC pumping and it's really, really cold. All those kind of things on top of learning the new job and learning the new industry. So it has been very taxing. And in the evenings, I am more tired than I thought I would be. And that doesn't always bode well for stitching. So it's all good. You know, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining at all, because I'm really not. I'm really grateful for this opportunity, this job that sort of came through. I'm really happy that I was able to take my courses and my studies and now apply them directly to the job that I'm working in. And I feel just really proud of that and really grateful for that. So I will continue to keep you posted on how the job is going, and I will definitely continue to share my stitching in the meantime. I know a lot of you have been asking about Winston, and he did wonderful the very first week. He was a true champ. I'm pretty sure that he just slept all day while I was at home, or while he was at home and I was at work, because he was really ready to go for his walk as soon as I got home. But yeah, he's doing great. He's adjusting to the schedule. Today was a work from home day, and so he definitely enjoyed that. He was on my lap all day while I was working, and I think he was saying, like, don't go back to the office. Little does he know, this week will be 4 days in the office. So he's still adjusting too, but he's doing really well. And with that, I'm actually going to let you go this week. So thank you so much for spending a little bit more time with me. I really do appreciate it. I know this was a shorter update, and it might be a little bit shorter in the next couple weeks, but just bear with me. Stay tuned to the channel as we continue to grow, go on this journey, and I sort of navigate this next phase of my life. But it really means the world to me that you are here. You have no idea how much your support has meant to me over the last several months, and I'm so happy we're on the other side, that I've now got a job, which is something that we've all been hoping for and praying for, and that's been really great. So anyway, thanks for being here, and I just love this hobby, and I love sharing it with you guys. So keep running if you're a runner, always keep stitching, and be kind to whoever you meet on your journey. Bye for now, until the next stitch.